Our goal today is to draw an animal, either the whole body or just the head. And when we draw it, we want it to fill the entire page. In order to draw our animals, we're going to go to the website wedrawanimals.com, and we are going to click on any of these categories to go through different categories to find out what we want to draw. So if you want to draw fish, but we don't know what kind, we can click on fish and we can search what we want. And when we find the fish we want and we click on it, there are step-by-step directions on how to draw the fish. So if you scroll down, it shows the different sections, but what we really want to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom. This way we can see all of the steps together so that we can see that on step 1, we shouldn't draw that too big because there's going to be more to draw all the way to the right, and we make sure that we fill the space correctly. Another way to use the website is through the search bar up here. And if you want to search like a dog, you type in dog and you click on it. And when you scroll down, it can give you many options of different dogs for you to choose from, so that when you click on the dog that you want, it'll have step-by-step directions just like the fish. When you get your paper, the first thing you want to decide is, do you want to hold it portrait mode or landscape mode? And it all depends on what animal you decide to draw. So if it's a giraffe, of course you're going to do it portrait mode. And if it's a crab, of course you're going to do it landscape mode. So I decided to go with their deer head photo. And the first step for the deer head photo was the eyes. So I started with the eyes in the middle because I figured that that would be a good spot for them to have enough space for the rest of the face and the horns. And I was following their instructions. I was going on to the nose next, and I quickly realized there's definitely not enough space to draw it. So that's why it's a good idea to do my tip of looking at the bottom where they have all the steps together, and that way you can know where to save space. So I'm going right now to outline the area of where the head and the neck would be very lightly. I don't know if you can see that, but then I'm also going to very lightly outline the area where the horns will go. Now I know that it fills my space. So the horns are going almost to the top and the neck is going to go all the way to the bottom. I know that's like a weird shape, but now I know where those spots are going to go. And then I'm going to start with the ears, and I'm going to start drawing a little darker. And I know that my deer is gonna fit the space because I drew those light outlines first. So now that I can see those light outlines, I can start drawing darker, and I'm gonna move on to the rest of the deer and follow the instructions if I want to, or I can sort of just draw on my own, which is what I ended up doing here because I wanted to make sure I filled the space. As you can see here, my eyes ended up being a lot smaller than I initially drew them because I mapped out the area of where I wanted to draw it very lightly beforehand. And now I'm drawing that neck, and I know that it's gonna fit because I drew my light outline, and it's gonna go almost to the bottom of my page. It's gonna fill my page, which is exactly what I wanted. Now when I'm drawing the horns, I know that they're gonna go all the way almost to the top because I'm filling in where those light outlines were, and I know that it's going to fit the space. Whenever we draw, we need to make sure that everything always fills the space. And now that I'm done, I can take my eraser and I can erase those light outlines. I do not need them anymore. And my drawing is completely finished. Here is my deer head. The next step will be adding patterns, tracing in Sharpie, and doing watercolor. But this step is now complete and I have a good base to get started my drawing because it fills up the space.